Aloha everyone, welcome to Aloha Nathie Yoga. I'm Nathie and I'll be guiding you today in your yoga practice. So today we're going to do a Vinyasa flow. So it's really just about diving deep into our body movements and just feeling sensation in our bodies, just dropping right in on our mats, feeling in our safe space and building up that beautiful energy for us to release anything we've been holding on to, tension, anything at all. So just make sure you have your yoga blocks, water, get into something comfy, and I will find you on your mat. Aloha. Have your blocks, both of the blocks at the top of the mat, about shoulder width apart. Walk yourself back towards the back of the mat, opening the knees, mat width apart, big toes to touch, and we'll come into a modified child's pose here. Sit your hips back, and then bring your palms on the blocks, either on the middle height or the highest height of the blocks. And then allow yourself to lengthen here, sending the hips back as you press the hands, the palms into the blocks, maybe readjusting the distance of the blocks so that you feel lengthening not only in the spine, but the side body, the shoulders, all of the triceps, the biceps. And deep breath here, option to lower the forehead down on the mat, lowering down as you reach the hips back. Take a few deep breaths here, starting to connect more deeply with the flow of your breath, how it feels when you fully inhale, and how it feels when you lengthen all of the exhalation all the way out. Maybe using your breath to massage your internal organs, the muscles along your spine. Now, with your breath, maybe exhaling out by a count of 1 or 2 times longer than your inhales. Relaxing your forehead and your jaw. Breathing deep into the hips. And then on your next full inhale, pull yourself up, pressing into the blocks. And bringing your knees closer into the blocks so that your hands are maybe almost under the shoulders here. Still on the blocks. So we'll inhale, hips back into tucked toes. So tuck your toes, send your hips into your heels. And then exhale, round yourself into a cat as you flow forward, and then opening the chest forward, rolling the shoulders back, kind of like in a modified cobra. Inhale, send your hips back into the heels, tucked toes. Exhale, flow forward into your cat, and then into opening the chest. Keep moving here, sort of like an ebb and flow. At your own pace. You can go faster, you can go slower, whatever feels good to you here. Just listening to your body. Maybe holding it longer when you're in your forward position. Maybe holding it in your cat for breath before reaching your heart forward. And then inhale back into a tabletop. Untuck your toes. Exhale, send your hips to the right and your chest to the right in a crescent shape. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale back to center. Again, to the right. Feeling an opening in the side ribs. Inhale back to center. And then exhale to the left. Crescent shape. Opening in the right ribs, intercostal muscles. Inhale back to center and just circle your hips. Big circles. With your breath here. And then switch directions. Beautiful. Bring your knees closer into each other. Tuck the toes, sit your hips back into the heels. And then bring your hands to heart here. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, interlace the fingers, flip the palms up. Exhale here. Inhale, reach palms up, drawing the navel in, tailbone down towards the heels as you lift the heart. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, cactus, your arms squeezing the shoulder blades, lifting the heart up. Inhale, reach arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. Take your hands in front of you, rotating the wrists. Nice big circles here with the wrists. Maybe hearing some cracking, and then switch directions. And yes, you're still tucked toes, and yes, your toes are starting to feel it. That's okay. Deep breath here. You always have the option to come out early if you need to. And then send yourself forward, hands on blocks, untuck toes, tap, tap, tap. The feet, the top of the feet into the mat. And then walk your knees further behind, planting the feet on the mat, and then lifting your hips up and back into kind of like a forward fold, but more like a down dog forward fold here, because your blocks are further in front of you than your shoulders. So you're creating length here in the spine. Still allow your palms to press into the blocks, feet hip width apart, maybe having a slight bend in the knees. Reach hips back as you send your heart forward, and then exhale here. Take a few breaths. And we're going to go into a flow that involves pyramid and twists. So inhale, lift the chest halfway up, step the right foot forward, and then exhale, fold into your pyramid here. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold into your pyramid, sending the right hip back. Maybe using your right thumb in your right hip crease. Inhale, half lift. Keep the right hand on the block. Keep the left block into the hand. Twist to the left, sending the block to the sky. So you're opening to the left, open twist. Take a deep breath here. Exhale it down and folds here. Inhale, step the left foot forward to meet the right, and then fold. Bend the knees, inhale, root to rise. Interlace the fingers, flip the palms, and then exhale here in an axial extension, pressing the feet into the mat, so rooting down into the feet. Inhale here. Exhale, twist right into a T. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist to the left, arms into a T. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, hands to heart. Again, rooting down into the feet. Inhale, reach arms overhead. Exhale, fold here. Inhale, half lift. And then exhale, step the right foot back into a pyramid and fold. Inhale, half lift. Pressing the left hip back, maybe placing your left thumb into the left hip crease to coax it to move back. And then exhale, fold. Hands on blocks here. Inhale, half lift. Keep your left hand on the block. Exhale, right block to the sky, open to the right. Send the chest forward here. Feel the opening maybe in the inner left thigh and the hamstring here. Press both feet into the mat. And then exhale, lower that right block down and fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, press into the blocks as you step the left foot back to meet the right. Once again, into a kind of like a modified downward facing dog or half fold. Deep breath here. Inhale, go ahead and lower the knees down, untuck the toes, sit your hips into the heels. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, release the right hand behind you. Lift the hips up as you reach the left arm overhead into a diagonal. Nice, kind of a modified camel or half camel. Inhale, flow forward as you reach arms overhead, sitting your hips down. Exhale, plant the left hand behind you. Lift the hips off the heels. Press into the hips as you reach the right arm overhead. Do this one more time on each side. Inhale, center. Exhale, lift hips, left arm overhead. Maybe press a little more here. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, lift hips, right arm overhead into a twist. Pressing the hips forward, squeezing the glutes slightly. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, plant the hands on blocks, tuck the toes, weight into the blocks, and then send your hips back. Exhale. Inhale, step the right foot forward. Move the left foot back slightly, opening it out into 45-degree angle. Bend the front knee. Placing yourself for warrior one. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Take a deep breath here. Notice the back foot. So pressing into the outer edge of the back foot. Notice the calf stretching here. And then also pressing the front ball of the foot into the mat. The knee is in line with the ankle. Both hips are facing forward, scissoring the legs. Drawing the navel in, press that left hip forward. And then release the hands behind your back, interlace the fingers. Inhale, reach heart up. Exhale, humble warrior, sending your chest inside of the right thigh, maybe lifting the arms overhead. Take a deep breath here. Landing in your humbleness. Breathing deeply into the lower abdominals. Inhale, sweep arms overhead into warrior one. Exhale, plant the left hand on the block. Unbend the right knee, lift the right arm to the sky. Nice twist in the opposite direction here. Reach the heart forward as you send the hips back. Bend the front knee, release the right hand on the block. And then step the right foot back to meet the left once again. Take an inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, step the left foot forward between the blocks. Move the right foot back more, open it out, bend the front knee, adjust your stance if needed. And then when you're ready, inhale, sweep the arms overhead, warrior one. Take a really deep breath here. And once again, that activation in the back leg, as you press the heel and the outer edge of the foot onto the mat, it's automatically going to send a ripple effect of activation throughout the leg up into the back glute, and then allowing you to become aware of pressing the right hip forward and the left hip back, opening the heart here, shoulder blades down your back. Inhale. Exhale, release the hands behind the back, interlacing the fingers. Press the palms down as you reach the heart up. Exhale, humble warrior, sending the chest inside of the left thigh, sweeping the arms overhead maybe, if that's accessible to you. Otherwise, you can just keep them down by your lower back. Deep breath here. Humble warrior. Strengthening the hips, strengthening the legs here. Press into both feet equally, activating the inner thighs. On your next inhale, with control, in your warrior one, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, lower the right hand down on the right block. Unbend the front knee, and then just sweep the left arm overhead into a twist. Deep breath here. And then exhale, lower the left hand down on the block. Step the right foot forward and fold here, holding on to opposite elbows. Bending the knees maybe here, a little or a lot. Deep breath into the back body, filling up your lungs, filling up the lower abdominals. Allowing gravity to just do its work on your body. You're part of the earth. You're a magnet down into the earth core, pulling down. Imagining all the vertebrae just opening up, having space. Maybe even swaying side to side here. Come back to center. Hands on blocks. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bend the knees, sweep overhead, reach. Flip the palms up to the skies, interlace the fingers. Exhale here, axial extension. Really root down into the heels. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, back to center. With the weight into your left foot, lift the right knee up, interlace the fingers around the shin, drawing the knee into the chest as you lengthen the heart up. Really rooting down into that bottom foot. And I invite you now to just become aware of what is going on with your left foot in the mat. Notice how you're moving, finding your drishti, a point of focus. Lift the chest as you draw your knee in. If that's not accessible to you, you can just hold the back of the thigh. Exhale, lower that foot down. Inhale, reach arms overhead. Exhale, root into the right foot, lift the left knee up, interlacing the shin and drawing the knee into the chest as you press your right foot into the mat. Stamp it down. Feel the energy, the activation of that right leg holding you up, rolling your shoulders back and down to create space for your chest. Exhale, lower that left foot down. Inhale, reach arms overhead. Exhale, fold here. Step the feet back again, allowing your spine to lengthen. Once again, hands on blocks. And then walk about a foot in, blocks underneath shoulders. And rooting down here, drawing the navel into the spine, so up and in, creating a strength in the abdominals. Inhale, sweep that left leg up behind you. Parallel to the mat, toes pointing down. Warrior 3, with hands on blocks for now. You can bend the bottom knee. Lengthen out of the back heel, draw the navel up and in. Look down at your mat to relax the neck. Inhale, reach the right arm forward, lengthen. Modified bird dog or warrior 3. And then we're going to flow here. This is optional. You don't have to do the back leg, but option here to bend that left knee. And you can also stay here or reach the right arm behind to grab the left foot. Press that foot into the hand as you reach your chest forward, still using the left hand in the block. And then release, lengthen, leg and hand. Exhale, crunch in, knee to elbow. Inhale, reach leg and arm. Exhale, lower the right hand, lower the left foot and fold. Inhale, reach overhead, lengthening. Interlace the fingers, point the index back for a slight back bend. Pressing the hip bones forward, squeezing the glutes a little bit. Exhale, fold here. Hands on blocks. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, sweep that right leg behind you, parallel to the mat, toes pointing down to level out the hips. Hold it here for a couple of breaths. Reach out of that back heel. This side might feel different, and that's okay. Just notice and come into your breath and how your breath is allowing you to move through that intensive energy that you might be feeling in your body. Inhale the left arm forward. Reach out of both ends here. Optional, bend the right knee, take the left hand, grab onto that right foot and lift. And lift. Press the foot into the hand. Reach the heart forward. Deep breaths. The bottom foot is stable, the right hand is on the block. Inhale, lengthen leg and arm. Exhale, crunch in, elbow to knee. Drawing it up and in. Inhale, reach arm and leg. Exhale, lower the left hand on the block, lower the right foot down to meet the left, and fold. Holding onto opposite elbows. Take a few breaths here. Bend the knees, inhale, root to rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Release the blocks onto the sides. Lower the knees down on the mat. And then come down onto your belly, all the way down. Bring the forearms in front of you, elbows underneath shoulders, palms facing down. And we'll come into a Sphinx for a few breaths here. And allowing yourself to just melt here in your Sphinx, reaching the heart forward, creating space for the heart. Allowing the front body to open up once again. And then lower down onto stacked hands, bend the knees, and then swaying your shins maybe side to side here. And then release the legs, press yourself up into tabletop. Sit your hips back into child's pose. Knees opened or closed, arms along your sides or extended forward. When you're ready, press yourself up into a tabletop. Tuck toes, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg behind you. Exhale, draw the right knee into the right elbow, lower down the shin, we'll come into pigeon. And here you can bring the blocks back in. Allow your hands to leverage themselves on the blocks, reaching your heart up. Relaxing more deeply here into your pigeon. You can stay here, or option to lower down onto the forearms on blocks or on the mat and fold over the thigh, or landing your forehead on stacked fists. Relax the eyes and the jaw. Any expectations that you might be holding inside of you here. And just trust this moment now with yourself on your mat. All the goodness that you are bringing into your practice, your body, your mind. When you're ready, press yourself up, lean onto the right hip, and then just pivot yourself onto the wide side of your mat and have the soles of the feet on the mat, hands behind your hips. Take an inhale, reach the heart up. Exhale, drop the knees to the right. Feet are at least hip width apart, if not wider. Inhale, back to center, and then exhale, drop them to the left. Maybe opening and closing the jaw here, letting it all go. Letting it all just let it go. Moving with your breath. Oh. Well, it's like windshield wiping movements again, but we're up more. We're not on our backs. And then when you send your knees to the left or towards the back of the mat, keep going. Plant the hands forward. Come onto the knees. And then step it back into down dog. Inhale, sweep the left leg up behind you. Exhale, draw the left knee into the left elbow. Turn the shin inwards. Release down into your pigeon. And again, here you can have hands on blocks. I should have mentioned that. You setting up the blocks on the other end of the mat, but that's okay. We're figuring it out as we go. And again, when you're in your pigeon, your blocks can be further in front of you or they can be underneath the shoulders. Whatever feels good to you. Option to lower down onto the forearms. Take a few breaths here, releasing down into your pigeon. Allow your belly to relax. Send the breath down into the lower abdomen, the pelvis, the hips. It's okay to let your belly go. Trying not to judge your temple, your body. It holds you up every day. When you're ready, step back onto your hands. Release the left hip down onto the mat. Turn onto your side, hands behind the back. And then bring the soles of the feet together, opening the knees wide. We'll set ourselves up for butterfly pose. And so here, allow yourself to lengthen, maybe holding onto the shins or the outer edges of the feet, and fold in as much as needed here, as much as you desire. You can allow yourself to fully round forward if that feels better, reaching the hands forward, the arms forward, resting in this pose, chin into chest. Tapping into the deeper breath here. Whatever's flowing through you, holding it with love, compassion. There is space for every part of you. You are whole as you are now. And then walk yourself back up, hands behind knees, closing the knees in, turning yourself back on your mat lengthwise, and then slowly lowering down onto the back. Taking a moment here, maybe heel-toeing the feet out wider than the mat, and then letting the knees sink in towards each other. You can windshield wipe the knees here if that feels good. You can open the arms out or overhead. Feeling deeply here on the mat, feeling your supine position, allowing your body to connect with the earth, the ground beneath it. And then come back to center, reach the feet forward, reach the arms overhead. Give yourself a final big stretch here. Nice, long stretch, reach, 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 drawing the navel in, pointing the toes, squeezing the face, maybe fists, squeezing the hands, squeezing the glutes. Reach, reach, reach. And exhale out into your final Shavasana here. And your final resting pose can also be on your side or your belly. Maybe closing the eyes if that feels good for you. Take a deep breath in. Open your mouth and side out with me. Again. Yes, letting it all out. And maybe finding stillness and a sense of ease in your breath, effortless. Maybe you witness a pulsation in your body, an ease in your face muscles, in your fingers, in your toes. Mahalo nui loa for joining me today in your practice. Stay here as long as you need. Namaste.